Hi, happy holidays from the White Barn Inn. My name is Chef Matt. I am going to show you guys today how to make a simple holiday brownie recipe. This is our favorite brownie recipe that we do. So starting off first, we're going to melt some chocolate and butter in a double boiler. So I have a 68% chocolate. At the White Barn we use a brand called Cho chocolate, which is from San Francisco. So I'm going to start melting this. I have some boiling water here. Put this in a metal bowl. So I'm just going to start melting this in the double boiler. And this is the perfect recipe to make for all those people that are going to be indulging by themselves for the holidays. So I wanted to make something that's really nice and rich. So while that's melting, I'll go ahead and explain our other ingredients that we have here. So we have some whole eggs, this is sugar, and then we have some sifted flour and cocoa powder. So the goal of the double boiler is just to melt that chocolate and butter gently at the same time. So we want to make this nice and homogeneous. So we want it to be all nice and emulsified together. And this double boiler is going to slowly melt it, much slower than you would on the stove. So you definitely want to use the double boiler method. And the goal here also is, I didn't want to make anything too complicated. These holiday recipes, a lot of people make brownies out of a box because they think that it's easy, and brownies out of a box do come out pretty good. But this recipe, they come out so much better. I really like more of a fudgy brownie, which is the texture that you're going to get out of these, and that the real chocolate that you're using is going to be so much better than the boxed brownies that use a lot more cocoa powder. This is getting nice and hot. It's almost all melted here. And again, you just want to gently melt everything together. You don't want to leave it too long in the double boiler. You saw me take it off there for a second. You don't want it to necessarily get so hot that the butter separates from the chocolate. So you want a nice emulsified, almost like a chocolate sauce consistency. And the chocolate that I used, I want to mention also, be careful not to buy a chocolate bar, because a chocolate bar you may get chocolate that's already sweetened or much sweeter. So make sure to buy like bulk baking chocolate is what I would recommend, or look on the back of the package and make sure that they didn't sweeten it too much. Some manufacturers add sugar to it, so you want to make sure you don't buy like a already pre-made chocolate bar and buy chocolate that's made for baking. So have our mixture here. All the chocolate and butter is melted. Now I'm going to add in our sugar and eggs. So that's nice and smooth. Alright, now I'm going to add in our flour and cocoa powder here. Just mixing that until it all comes together. You don't want to mix it too much or overwork it or anything, just mixing that till there's no more bits of flour or anything in there. And so the amount that I'm giving you works really well with a quarter-size sheet pan. It'll probably also work well in a like a 9x9 pan. It'll be a little bit thicker than what we're making. As you can see, ours are going to come out pretty thin. So like a 9x9 baking pan, this recipe will be perfect. So have our baking pan. I put a piece of parchment in here and sprayed it with baking spray. So at home, if you have a non-stick 9x9 pan, you don't necessarily need the parchment paper. We put it in there so it's easier to get it out of the pan, but I would definitely spray it with some sort of baking spray. Alright, now this is going just right into the pan here. And meanwhile, I have our oven already preheating to 350 degrees. Spread that out as evenly as you can. I'm just going to go right in here to our oven. And that's it. I'll show you the finished product here in a few minutes. Great. Alright, so the brownies have been in for 30 minutes, 350 degrees. So, taking these out, and we like to finish them with a little bit of salt on top as well. Which is optional, but I really like the crunch of the salty and sweet. So that's it. So that's our perfect brownies is what we call them. So we actually made some, we're going to be eating them with our Thanksgiving dinner for all the staff after service tomorrow. So enjoy.